My name's Cameron, and this is my first year at Unlimited Paenga Tawhiti. Unlimited is a special character school that used to be based in the central business district of Christchurch. What special character means is that Unlimited is a different type of school because it's based on self-directed learning. There are a lot of things that differ from other schools, like we call our teachers LAs, we call them by their first names, we don't wear uniforms, and we're responsible for our own learning with support from LAs and parents. If you're interested in this one subject and want to further that, it's really easy to do at Unlimited. Also, if you're really good at another subject, it's okay if you miss out on that to devote more time to the subject you've fallen short in, like for myself. If you're interested in one So if you're, for example, if a student was really interested in philosophy, then they can arrange their schedule to take as many of those classes as they want. There are also projects you can get involved with, such as Project Eva, which was helping support a school on an island in Samoa. And then there are other projects that you won't find at many other schools, like DJing classes and our very own UPT Digital class. So basically, if you're a self-motivated person like I am, it's a great school to be involved with.
Hey guys, I'm Goya. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about UPT Digital. So we basically all work together to build the UPT Digital model, plus we got a little bit of help from the guy at Rockstar Studios, which was awesome. So basically it just runs like a normal games development company would. So we got the project facilitator, who basically just manages the whole group. Next we have the development teams, which are made up of about 5 to 7 students. Each have a project manager, so each of the development teams have a project manager. Then we have the circle of freelancers. So some of the freelancers are in our classes, some of them are in other classes, and some are even in other schools. Freelancers, the freelancer circle is made up of musos, coders, and other students. Development teams can ask the freelancers to do a task for them, such as make a model or write a script. Then we have the mentor circle. Mentors are people who work in the industry. Some of the mentors we haven't even met before because they live on the other side of the world. But one of our regulars is here today, and we'll meet her a bit later.
Hey guys, I'm Thomas, or Thomas, pretty much everyone else calls me, and I'm going to talk about my personal experience in UPT Digital. I started taking a computer programming class in the start of 2010, and we've done a few things like console.write lines and UX things. And after a while I started realising that coding wasn't really my thing. And it was by coincidence that UPT Digital started around the same time. UPT Digital was a class in which we designed games and built them in an engine called Unity. So we've done that for a while, and I decided that I'd do some game design things. And I've done that for a few months. It wasn't very satisfying. So I decided I'd do a few things in an amazing tool called Photoshop. I worked at that for about 4 months. I still felt something was missing in my learning career. I was being nagged at from Dad, telling me I should learn a language like French or something like that. And I thought French wouldn't do anything for me. Then I discovered all the things that I could do in programming. To me, programming wasn't a language, and it was one that I actually wanted to learn. So I looked at a few pieces of code, and I found a thing that I'd like to do, so I began coding. I started off with console.write lines, made a few games doing that. For example, random number guessing game. We had 10 guesses to guess the number, and the number was randomly picked from the game between 0 and 1,000. I got that finished. Now I'm working on a game like Zork, which is pretty much done. And I'm also doing a few XNAV things. My latest project that is completed is a temperature converter, which converts temperatures between Celsius, Kelvin, and Fahrenheit. And dependent on what temperature you put in, gives a different background.
Hi, I'm Claire, and I'm a mentor for these guys. And I've worked in the IT industry for about 12 years. I started as a tester, and then I spent a number of years as a developer. And I work for these guys called Claris. Now I'm a test automator, and I go into companies and I try and help them to make sure they get their cool stuff out and finish testing so that it can be released and making money and people can use it. part of my job, I actually end up doing a lot of storytelling and trying to get teams to tell the stories of what their apps do. So I didn't really mean to end up in IT when I was at school. I actually had a sign on my room that said no talking about computers in my room because my family all talked about computers. But IT's actually been really good for me. So I've worked here for these people, and then I went to Sweden and I worked for these people, and then when I came home to Christchurch, I worked for some German company. So it's a really international world out there if you work in IT. And I've worked in some pretty cool places. So these are some pictures from where I worked in Sweden. And I've worked on some pretty cool products. So I don't know if some of you might know this product, Battlefield. It's a pretty cool game though. Right. And this has all allowed me to save a bit of cash and have some pretty cool experiences. So I've travelled quite extensively for a number of months at a time through Asia, through Europe and through Nepal, and had some amazing multicultural experiences. But I have a problem. And that's why I wanted to steal a little bit of you guys' time to speak to you today. And my problem is this. When I tell people I work in IT, they think I look like this. And that I like working like this. But that's not me. And in fact, that's not what IT is about anymore. There's this thing out there called Agile. And in Agile development, what we're trying to do is get teams of people working together. So in Agile development, it looks more like this. Teams of people, you've got the designers and the developers and the testers all working in one team. It's no longer one of them working and passing on to the next one and passes on to the tester and then the tester and the developer have an argument between themselves. No, they're part of one team and it's all about collaboration. And you might also notice that it's all about the applications that we can build. So Karen earlier talked about Facebook. But Facebook might have started with one crazy student in a room, but now it's a huge enterprise and it requires a huge number of people working together to bring it to you and to allow you guys to communicate. So again, I want to spread that message that it's about changing or improving people's lives. That's what being in IT is about. So my challenge to you is, could you do this? Do you think that you can work in an environment where you get to work with a bunch of friends in quite a often casual environment? Often you get to wear jeans to work. You don't have to smile at customers all day, and you get paid pretty well for doing it. You get to collaborate and feel like you are going to build something really great, because that is what Agile development is about. That's what IT is becoming, and I need you to join the teams that I work with. And that's what you'll see as the boys work, as the boys demonstrate their jobs today, because IT is now, and particularly games, are so complicated, no one person can do it. So it's really about teamwork and working together.
Hello everyone, my name is Kieran and I will take you through the process of making a quick meaty game. But first I want to tell you how I manage the team. I use two tools, the first being the basic version of Scrum and the other being Dropbox. At this point in time you might be asking yourself, what is the basic version of Scrum? It is a system of keeping track of everything that the team does. How does it work? Well, we have a whiteboard and lots of sticky notes. You might be wondering, how can we just use one whiteboard and lots of sticky notes? Well, we split the whiteboard into 3 columns. Needs to be done, being done, and finished. We then write down all the jobs onto the sticky notes, put them onto the needs to be done column, then all the work is done and grab the job that is most suited to them and put it into being done. Once they're finished, they put the sticky notes into the done column. When all of the other jobs have been moved into the done column, the game should be more or less completed. Every fortnight we have a presentation with our mentors to show them what we have accomplished. Then we do a retrospective. We also use Dropbox, which is a program that lets you store all your work onto their servers. It also updates every computer that is invited to that Dropbox account. Some of you techies out there might be wondering, why don't we use the SVN server? Well, it's a lot harder to set up, and we used to have a proxy that still have the SVN. Now, on with making the game.
Hi, I'm Samuel and the lead game designer for this project. As a game designer, my role is to create a game concept using the following processes. The first step of game design is creating and developing an idea, which sometimes is a modification of an existing concept. The idea usually falls within one or more genres. Part of my role is experimenting with mixing genres to achieve a more original and interesting game. After coming up with an idea, there are four main areas to develop. World design involves creating a theme and setting. System design is basically just game rules. Content design involves the evolution of items, puzzles, missions, and so forth. Then finally, level design is the creations of the game's levels and their features. While developing the fundamentals of a game, I often work with the writers and we collaborate with the various aspects of developing the game design. I also work with the artists to create a visual of the various concepts. Since this is just going to be a quick and simple game, my role as a game designer is limited to basic concept design, but in larger projects I would have to create a more detailed concept level system design and so forth. To save time today, instead of creating a completely new game concept, I'm going to take inspiration from the all-time classic Space Invaders. The goal of Space Invaders was to defend the Earth, but what if Earth was once again in danger from something like asteroids? If Earth is in danger, your obvious objective is to defend it, but how? Or you could shoot the asteroids, but there's a lot of games like that out there, so maybe instead of shooting them, you could eat them. The only thing I could think of that could eat asteroids in space would be some kind of giant creature, but character design is up to Connor, so I'll leave that to him. And again, there has to be a way to win or lose. If the player was winning, the game could be designed to go on forever, like Tetris. Defending Earth for as long as possible would be your goal. The game is lost when Earth is hit by asteroids 3 times. Once those 3 chances or lives are gone, the Earth will explode, and you will lose the game. That all sounds good, so now I'll hand over to Connor, our writer for this project, who will create all the remaining aspects of the concept.
Kia ora, I'm Connor, and I'm currently the project writer for this project. As a writer, my role in what I call a complex shish kebab of this game's creation involves taking those ideas proposed by Samuel and crafting around these a bit of a detailed and engaging experience for our player. In terms of storyline, I've already got my work cut out for me. Eat the rocks and Earth is saved. To conform to the constraints of the gameplay and the time available, I need to devote my work to the player's prime focus of our Space Invaders-esque creation. This would be the protagonist, our creature, a digestive protector of Earth. Creature is a loose definition, of course. We need to put a face and a body and a personality to this guardian. So what is our character and what do they look like? Okay, I think I've got it. Our creature is now a hippo, a space hippo, and for an added twist, maybe a hippo who's also the moon. Yeah, let's basically the moon. This isn't quite the twist you could have foreseen. So 4 stubby legs, a certain distinct roundness, and maybe the scars of a long war against our doomsday meteors evident in craters across our character's torso. Meteors, presumably, are not tasty, so, like an overcooked carrot, Space Hippo is going to persevere, but isn't the happiest. So expressions of anger or disdain, or more aggressive animations as the tally of successful catches continues up, are an example of visual elements which could be translated into our game without infringing on the basic gameplay. With these game aspects crafted, I've reached the point where I can actually advocate the visualization of Maya and Samuel's ideas to our project artist, Maya.